Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
I'm a mechanical
Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Waiting orders. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
I am a mechanical
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Vehicle acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
New construction options.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge.
Unit
Acknowledge.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle reporter. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Building. Implement.
Waiting orders.
Bomb.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Ready.
Reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Waiting order. Affirmative. Report. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir.
Base
Vehicle
under
not
attack.
boarding.
Building.
Yes, acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Building.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Engineering affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
New construction
Engineering
options.
affirmative.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes,
New
acknowledged.
construction options.
Acknowledged. Orders. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle. Affirmative. Yes. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Not a problem. Yes, sir.
Unit
Yes, sir.
lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes. Affirmative. Affirmative.
New
Affirmative.
construction options.
Acknowledged.
Building. Primary building set. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Roger. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
GI reinforcements have arrived. Base under attack. Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Primary building set.
Reporting.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building. Unit
Yes, sir.
lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledge. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Waiting for acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Building.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Training. Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Reporting. Waiting for acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes. Roger. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Vehicle reporting. Reporting.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Waiting orders. Yes, sir.
Internet advanced.
Reporting. Waiting
Base
order.
under attack. Unit
Waiting. Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Yes. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Report. Acknowledged. Yes. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Yes. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Reporting. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
training. Unit ready.
Reporting. You got it.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. 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 Yes. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Waiting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirm. Acknowledged. Yes. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Base under attack.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Right away. You got it.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reporting. You got it. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
coming.
Construction complete. New construction options. Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready. Mission accomplished.